Hello guys. So, it has been a while since I've uploaded to this channel, and originally my goal was to upload once a week. And as you can see, that hasn't happened. It did for a little bit, but it stopped. And so, I'd like to take the time to explain, I guess, my thought process and where the future is leading. So, first of all, the reason for stopping the videos for the channel was because it started to feel, there's two reasons. The first reason is it started to feel like a chore. It started to feel like something I was doing that I didn't really particularly enjoy doing. And I needed to be honest with myself about that and realize that I wasn't really enjoying making the videos that much. And that it was just felt like it was too much with my school schedule. It wasn't helping me with school, and it really felt like it wasn't helping me with life. It was something that was actually like reducing the quality of my life rather than increasing it. And so I stopped making videos and started to put all of my focus on just sort of what was in front of me, the life that I had in front of me, and like the people that I had in front of me, and focus more on that and taking the time that I would have taken with making a YouTube video on things like reading a book or making sure that I'm like taking some time to like take care of myself, think about how things are going. Well, not that, don't do that. Thinking about how things are going never works out. It just makes things feel worse. But what I meant to say was just like relaxing a little bit, like giving myself a break to reassess, recenter myself, and move from there, and make sure that I was, yeah, and I felt like by doing that, I was being a better person. I was being a more loving person to the people around me, and I felt like I wasn't like. Otherwise, it felt like I always was taking the time I was with a person could have been spent editing a YouTube video or making a YouTube video. It felt like the time that I was constantly in a time crunch because I had this other thing going on. And maybe that's just a mental thing, but that's how it has happened, and I'm just going to go with that. And so I will not be focusing on this channel. It will not be my priority at all. My schoolwork and the people in front of me that have to do with my schoolwork and my family are my ultimate priority, besides myself and besides making sure that I'm doing well. This is a slow process. This is a very slow process. I want this YouTube channel to grow. I want to eventually be able to spread the things that I really believe, but it's going to take years, and I understand that. And so I'm going to take this very slowly and methodically. The second half of this is that I don't feel like I can teach, like I can preach what I'm saying if I have not fully lived it. And I feel like there's a lot more to my life that I have to live before I can teach these principles. I feel like right now, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm not living these principles as best I could. I haven't mastered these principles by any means. And so I feel like focusing on that will not only make me a better person, it'll also make me more successful in what I'm doing, which in turn will give me more time to spend on videos like this. I feel like this is not the start of the path. This is something that comes along throughout the journey. And so, and maybe towards the end of the journey, I feel like it's something that this channel is something that I can afford to do when I have done other things in a way. And I don't believe that that is me delaying something or me making excuses. I genuinely don't. I believe that it's me saying I have other things to address in my life that are more important, that have a higher chance of giving me success, that have a higher chance of me, that honestly feel more fulfilling and rewarding than this YouTube channel right now. And I feel like focusing on those will eventually lead to a point where I can breathe and work on something like this to help other people. So, that being said, what is the reality that I'm facing? What would I like to address? There's still obviously goals that I have. There's still obviously things that I would like to have done in my life that I want to make progress. I want to grow. I want to change. And so the first step in that is diet. That's what I've realized is the first step is diet, because I think you are what you eat and how you eat. I think that through diet, through a practiced diet where you are being intentional about your decisions of what you're eating, it allows you to also be intentional about other things in your life. And by being particular about what you eat, by having a certain diet does not change when you're around people, where you stick to your goals when you're around people, whether you're around people or not, that you make sure to do your best to have your everything be accommodating in your diet. I feel like that's something that translates into the rest of your life. I feel like it's something that then not only does my diet not change when I'm with people or when I'm not, but my morals don't either. And I'm more likely to what I would call passively resist. So like Mahatma Gandhi talks about passive resistance. So staying towards your goals, which you believe to be good, which you believe to be true, which you believe to be best overall for society or for yourself. For society ultimately, because I believe that my diet will help me be a better person for others. So staying true to these goals, and passively resisting anything that comes in that says otherwise. Say, no, I would prefer it this way. I would prefer if you could do this. I would prefer to have, to not have fries with this or not eat this. By passively resisting in your diet, I'm able to passively resist other things and able to be, I believe, more myself and able to like really stick to my goals and like, I don't know, just like make something more of this life. So that's what I'm going to do. It is going to go on until December. Don't know when in December. I'm going to let that happen, but I just know it's going to go till December. And so I will be doing monthly updates on this channel to keep myself honest with how the diet is going. So I have written down, I want this to be seen. I've written down essentially what I've told you. That there is this diet. It is not just a diet. It is a way of practicing your morals and is an indicator of the person you are. So I cannot think of it as a diet. That's like a materialistic thing. It's practicing being the person. It's a greater. It's a personification of the person you are. It's like a metaphor for. It's probably a better way to put it. It's metaphor for the rest of your person. And so focusing on this is focusing on myself, focusing on the person I am. And that is really motivating to me. On top of that, the one exception that I have to the diet is, well, first of all, even with family, I need to make an effort to passively resist and to have them make accommodations for me. That is part of passive resistance. That is part of speaking up. It's part of standing up for what I believe in, which is something that I struggle with. So standing up, making sure that I'm saying like, hey, this is me. Like, this is what I think. Like, I just want this. Like, and I think that, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it should be thought of as a bad thing. And I think people will respect it. And ultimately, I don't think they'll really care. If they do, what does it matter? I shouldn't even be thinking of that. Finally, the last thing is if there's anything done out of love, if there's any meal that I feel like is out of love, I am to accept that meal. I am to accept it like gratefully, and maybe it's just as gift and a little bit of a break. If the diet is like that, like if any time there's a meal that's given to me with love, I am to accept it. But I am to try my hardest, even in that point, to stick to the diet. So I'll be providing weekly updates with that. I guess some examples of what I mean by love is anything like my grandmother would make for me, or my mother would make, or the whole family is there, or someone would give to me out of love. And then also some things that I would give to another person out of love. For example, like I want to, if I want to like take someone out for a meal, and I want it to be a good experience, and I think it will be, and like something about it is about love, then I should do that, and I should have that experience. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I should make sure to try my very hardest to be on my diet as much as I can be within that experience. So I should be ordering something that stays along the lines of my diet and still being still being strict with everything. But at the same time, I think those experiences are worth it. And I think I wouldn't be living if I didn't have those experiences. Specifically, I'm talking about like taking someone out on a date. I would really like to do that. And I think I wouldn't regret it. So yeah, one thing that I did think of was I would let myself have one cheat meal a day. But I think that's wrong, because I think there's two ways to look at a diet or any sort of goal you have. One way is that you're living in the diet. So you're living as that person who is on that diet. And you're just sort of doing it. It's just what you do. It's just the person you are. And there's another way to look at it, which is almost from the outside, and which is a way that I feel like makes things a lot harder, and which is a way I feel like most people don't achieve their goals, because they view themselves from the outside of the diet. They view themselves as the person they were, trying to be a different person. Instead of just being that different person, they look at themselves from the outside and are trying to be that person. And I feel like that's what a cheat meal would do, was it would make me think like I can't be that person, and that I need a break, I need a relief. That's not the case. I am that person. This is what I believe. This is the diet. This is my diet. This is what I eat in a day. This is just what I do, because I am that person. This is something I've known for a long time to be true. And I don't need a cheat meal. That's not how this works. This is just who I am. This is just what I believe, what I express. And I will have meals out of love, because that's also a part of the person I am. But I don't need a cheat meal. There's not a day that I think I should be able to cheat on my morals or my religion. I don't need that. This is the person I am. And I think that belief is what's going to carry me through to be successful in this diet, and to come through each month telling you that I'm doing this and I am going to do it. So that's that. I'll post this video right away, unedited, with my cracky voice. And I hope that explains everything. Oh, last thing, parameters for what I will tell you at each video will be, if I do fuck up, an explanation of it, if it was justified. Was it actually out of love? Was I actually cheating myself? That's the one thing that will go on. And then just saying, like, so naming any specific events that occurred where, explaining any specific events that occurred where I cheated on the diet or I cheated on the diet when really it was out of love. Naming any specific events like that, explaining them, and then just a short thing on like how it's going, the positivity of it, how I'm feeling, changes that are occurring, things of that nature. I don't want this to be something that's stressful. I don't think it's going to be. That's my goal. It's just going to be how I live. So there we go. Peace out. See you guys in a month.